The East and Southern Africa Fertilizer Trade Platform is an initiative of the African Fertilizer Agribusiness Partnership. It was formed in 2014 in collaboration with the Alliance for Commodity Trade on East and Southern Africa. The trade platform's main objective is to increase the amount of fertilizer produced, imported and distributed by the private sector in East and Southern Africa.
And the fertilizer use in Africa will only grow if it is left in the hands of the private sector.
East and Southern Africa Fertilizer Trade Platform provides opportunities for public and private sector dialogue and joint action. The trade platform supports and facilitates the creation of new fertilizer agribusinesses. This is achieved by bringing together public and private stakeholders on a regular basis. The platform provides relevant, up-to-date market information on best practices for fertilizer policy and market development.
A regional platform such as ESAF provides a wonderful opportunity to scale up our activities on the continent, at least for these 22 countries that are gathered here, which is a wonderful opportunity to have not just national representation of countries, you are having business representation.
Annual meetings of the East and Southern Africa Fertilizer Trade Platform bring together senior government officials and representatives of private fertilizer companies from all levels of the value chain. The meetings also attract financial institutions, development partners, agro-dealers, farmers' associations, as well as policy and decision makers who drive the regional fertilizer agenda. The platform seeks to increase regional trade by facilitating business-to-business linkages throughout the fertilizer supply chain.
Agriculture is business. And if agriculture, therefore, is business, then it means that our mindset changes, policies, change, so that it is not something that is there for subsistence, but it is there because it is business like any other business. And indeed, it is business.
OCP is the leader fertilizer in industry, so we are the major player of P2O5, mainly due to rock phosphate capacity, 32 million tons of phosphate, and we are the 5th fertilizer company if we include the nitrogen and potassium in the world. OCP is also 95 years of experience.
Public and private investment partnerships drive collaborations and innovative solutions to develop a sustainable and competitive fertilizer value chain in East and Southern Africa.
Because we've been talking about PPP for too long, with the P being big for public, being super tiny for private, and in the middle for partnership. We've, in the development community, thought that we could tell the private sector what they should or could do, but the reality is we need to be talking to the private sector and asking what we can do, where we can intervene where they can't or won't, and enable forward movement. So I'm really excited to be involved.
Access to business finance, particularly credit, has always been a challenge for small and medium-sized enterprises. The East and Southern Africa Fertilizer Trade Platform seeks to bridge this gap by facilitating the provision of credit guarantees, matching grants, and risk management products to SMEs.
I want to ask you a question. What do we mean by increase of demand to 500 SMEs? Where is the demand going to come from? Who is going to buy this fertilizer? Is it the big commercial companies? We are looking at the small scale farmer to be the person or to be the customer for the fertilizer.
In that area where we have the demand that exists, the ability, willingness to buy, our physical distribution chain exists. There may be some issues with it, but we have our importers, our manufacturers, our hub regional agro dealers, our local agro dealers. But the issue is where the distribution chain can't supply the quantity needed due to financing issues.
Dr. Adesina's presidential priorities are 5. He calls them the high fives. 1, he intends to integrate Africa. 2, he intends to industrialize Africa. 3, he intends to power and light up Africa. 4, he intends to feed Africa. 5, he intends to work with everybody else concerned to improve the livelihoods and well-being of Africa's people.
The East and Southern Africa Fertilizer Trade Platform provides a forum for interactions across the fertilizer industry between government, decision makers, policymakers, industry leaders, academia, and investors.